get. And with 50 seconds left on the clock, they've got enough time to re-rotate. Hades in the right position, in the right spot, has dropped the bomb back down again. 2 kills is where his round comes to an end, but he's done more than enough for the rest of his team. And now Spinks, with a perfect angle, has put that to use. 2 players remain. Dha with a crisp 1 tap, goes in for more. A lot of damage inflicted to him from Max, and will be enough to finalize his life. For 30 seconds, he's about to become swelled down from CT. Oh, no investment put in, and Spinks, in the meanwhile, all right, he doesn't mind slaying a legendary creature. Straight through with the first frag. David, though, where was that? Snappy's just been picked up with the clock. Not sure, 2 kills, really? ENCE, guys, come on. This is where we need.
Though. That's a question. Barrel won't be spotted. It's gonna slowly peel away. A lot of noise being made here by David, and it's gonna be Spinks. He will have no trouble dispatching of him. Round should be done here. 20 seconds on the clock and simultaneous.
And considering that Lucan is still over on A, they're going to have eyes in the back of their head at some point here, ENCE on this retake. To make matters worse, Max is pushed up close. He'll have to drop on Spinks. And Dha may get one, but now his position is known. He has a smoke. He has no kit by his side. I believe one was dropped down on the side, though, which has now been picked up. And he's going to look to try and get into the defuse of the smoke. But there's Max in the perfect position, primed to...
towards Palace or towards Ramp. But fortunately for them, ENCE are not going to be poking and prodding in that direction.
It's the kind of composition of weaponry where you can't really play standard. And this is the problem, because at longer ranges, unless you land some crazy 1-deeks, you are always going to come out second best against AK-47s, as they found out firsthand through on middle. Already middle has been lost at great cost of lives, and already ENCE will be thinking, can we pull the plug in a way where potentially save these guns? And they have gone for a stack on B. So they could still feasibly be into an interesting position. Maden is baiting them across. He needed to survive there, because that would have allowed Snappy a little bit more leeway to heal up with his Eagle, and everything comes to an abrupt end. Keep map. But it's just hard to see how any of this is feasibly going to work out for them, especially as the push is now coming in. Spinks back to site, going to get one, but that's all he will get from his endeavors. And now it's going to be a case of 9C putting the final nails in the coffin. They should move 3-2 in the lead.
And even though they're aware of the fact that it is just a pistol, there's going to be maybe a light investment or whatnot, they are being so methodical, right? That you're looking at the utility usage, you're looking at how they're ensuring they can't really get caught off guard. And it was a bit of a stack coming in actually from the CTs. You had 3 players there with the USPs. They didn't stand it.
Padres, as they're anticipating that maybe the action's about to get serious in just a few moments' time.
The mid play coming in, and the flashes are so good. Spinks able to find one, looking for the second. The spray, it deals so much damage onto David, but not quite able to finish off the job. The trades are still back and forth. I'm not too sure why David dropped down from the chair position, but he will be punished for it. But Luke, the anchor, he's lying in wait. And backup? Is it going to arrive as a question? No, it looks like Maden's going to be making his way towards the A-bomb site. And Snappy, he's going to get his neck snapped by rocks. Molotov deployed as well as the bomb. They're going to try and get it planted, but Maden will find DGT, leaving it on rocks to clutch this one out.
10 HP up against 100. Maden, the new recruit who's been in for a while now, of course, tenured, has to try and clutch this, but loses his head. And the South Americans go from...
are more than capable of putting up a fight here.
And Spinks passing by one another through the smoke. Snappy takes the first with his Eagle. Won't be a second, but a lot of damage done. And now Spinks shows his hand. AK-47 picked up in the process. Does have Kevlar as well, so aim punch won't be a problem. Hades has gone on for one as well. And now Rocks falls on the side as Spinks doubles up with his coming after all. David's been completely destroyed down to 17 HP, but he's not the main player. The main star in this round was Max, but not for much longer. And now Hades is cleaning up. The mop and brush is out, and he just forces them all away. There won't be a bomb plant. The bomb is spilled out of the ramp, and the rest of the players are about to just get cleaned up and thrown out with the trash. This round is a done deal.
Well, his teammates out, and it's going to be a much more faster play here coming in towards the A-bomb site. And look at ENCE, though. Aggressive posturing towards ramp.
DGT could give him the task though, but he needed his teammates to have more impact out of Palace because it doesn't force Maden's attention elsewhere. If they die from Palace, Maden probably looks towards the side, he gets the backstab. Not the case, and this round has come crumbling down. 9Z went from a really good spot of momentum to now back into the slums, and it's only Max that's left alive, and of course with his previous buy, down to a deagle, no rifles, not...
You can just completely wreck you. As David getting ahead of the smoke, trying to find something, but it's all the ruse while his remaining members slowly sneaked away towards the A bomb site. But they're walking into the walking headshot machine. That is Maden, as he will easily pick up a few kills of his own. And David, they knew where he was earlier, and his days are numbered.
They have been
10 with NECT playing aggressively, but and look at Diha just looking to fight them out in the open, and he will be punished for that.
And that could cost them the round. They need a big play. Max just burnt himself alive, I assume. He ran through his own Molotov while flashed. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll have to just keep on pace with the action because it's back and forth engagement, back and forth frags, Lucan and David. And now Snappy comes back up to the plate. 2-on-2. Lucan is down at 42 HP. The bomb's in such an awkward position though, and Hades has his eyes on it. He knows they have to peek into his crosshair. This round should be done. Hades misses his chance though and gets punished. And now it's down to the brains behind the operation to flex his brawn. Snappy slowly peering and protruding round the connector.
He's going to play the bomb. He's going to play the time. He's not going to face Snappy. He's not going to show anything in Snappy. He's going to smoke, try and cross on over, but David will spot him, sees his shadow first. Well played from David.
Now Max pushing straight down with the Mac-10. ENCE, after a disappointing defeat, have to try and come back out of the embers the other side, and that's exactly what they're doing. Spinks and Diha putting down the pain and suffering with the A1Ss. Diha smoked off on connector, could open up a little bit of wiggle room for the plant, but Hades is there on the CT side with the AWP, and now he's got some backup in the form of Snappy. Although he goes down, Snappy is that second player up, and he has crossed to the left-hand side of the boxes from the T's perspective. This is such a good angle, such a good position which you expect him to make the most of, and he does just that. Bomb drop, rocks may be unknown right now, but not for much longer. That was labored. Diha nearly whiffed it, but he's here.
And things can suddenly get a little messy. Diha able to, however, find rocks, but the bomb will be planted, and that's a little bit of money in the bank and a kill for David.
Oh, there's a small gap in that smoke, but another one's been put in that allows David to pick up the AK. Grenade is good damage, and the follow-up is there on Spinks. They feel claustrophobic right now, 9Z, because they've got such low firepower and no utility. They feel like they have to push out. They have to try and take control over this round. DGT with even trade back and forth with Hades, but now Lucan's getting aggressive with the Deagle. His back is open though to CT, and he will get swarmed. Snappy and Spinks lock it down, close. Very close to doing enough. Plenty of utility still on the side of the South Americans, but they need to get in position to use this. And in doing so now, they're walking into the crosshair of Diha. Spray for one, anticipating a second player, but Rox does counteract. That's allowing them a little bit of safe passage up on the connector side. Maden in a bit of an awkward spot. He's got players on connector, players on ramp. Time itself is ticking away from 9Z. They've got to start pressing W. They've got to start putting down some pressure. And Hades will retort in kind with his AWP. Maden goes down on the side. DGT and Lucan both pick up big frags, but here's Spinks. 5 seconds to play with. Spray is good, but he dies just in time. He's on the heater. Well, that continues. David has multiple chances. Take one of them, and that's left Max out to dry on the end of a fishing rod. Completely baited. David gets one finally, but it's at the cost of multiple of his teammates, and that could very well just be the final nail being put in. However, he's now going to stand his ground, and as long as he's alive on CT boxes, it allows his teammates to push out through connector and behind him as well. Down he will fall, but DGT is straight back into the action. 2-on-2, post plant already half of that fuse has ticked away. They need to get on this side, but Snappy and Spinks tagged.
Gone for the force spy, though. That's a bit curious and interesting.
Honestly, watching David start that round, hold that for a moment because I thought Max was about to pull out something truly spectacular. And now Snappy in the connector has a right idea, slightly off in the timing. Fortunately, Lucan may have assumed he was going in for that reload, and DGT will punish Snappy. It's only a Mac-10 down, though, but alongside Maden, doesn't make a difference. ENCE are winning this round. It's about whether DGT can capitalize and cash out and pick up one of these rifles. That's the main part of this round. The answer is a resounding no. Spinks is not playing his game. In comes Rox to die to the bomb. Good night.
An up-and-comer, yeah, you have some great games. Then you kind of dip a little bit, you have an average game. This kid just seems to consistently just pop heads at will. Lucan, though, nice little cheeky little one-way. They're able to find Maden, and it's an early opening frag for 9Z. Something they're going to need quite a lot henceforth.
I think Spinks has only died the same amount of times as 19 picked up. That's something when he dies, they typically falter. Rock's now very awkward, very laboured. Needs EGT to go nuclear. And instead, it was more of a puff of smoke. Only one kill. Here comes the rotational play, but Snappy may be overzealous. Maybe needed to wait for his teammates to push out onto the site. So all things considered, ENCE find themselves a player behind. They are at a disadvantage, but it's their two heavy hitters. It's Hades and Spinks. And Spinks right now basically counts for 5 players on himself. And he'll show here, as long as David doesn't put a bullet between his eyes, which he has. Ooh. Hades keeping this round alive, but there's Lucan as well. Great retake from 9.
Jumping around, hoping to find something, and here comes the pound. Snappy's going to be the one leading charge with a Tech 9. Max hasn't been seen yet, and David could easily find one, but no, Snappy finds Max. That's huge. No bomb's going to be planted, and remember, they have the guns to work with here, and this retake, it is definitely on, but ENCE, they're being so very disruptive.
Especially as David was so wrecked on the CT boxes with the Molotov, he had to pull the plug down to 24 HP. That smoke is going to start to clear now, but it's still... It is, and ENCE have had no issues with taking their time on these rounds, which means that you're prolonging the round, making more of those smokes. That's a little bit more valuable.
Oh,
Snappy gets 2, a nade into connector, blowing it to pieces, and then takes the head of mid. DGT falls the same way, and this being a force-up on 9 be getting hunted down.
It looked like they were going to be wrapping around here, but they slowed things down.
Of course it's Spinks.
Matt, Spinks.
And now 9Z in this round, as we're glossing over the start of it, is because they simply put have very few weapons. They're mainly stacking on the A side of the map. 4 players over here, but they've already lost David. Rock does come back with one, but Spinks now, death from above. Just 3 shy of his 30 bomb. And Lucan, the last man standing, the player...
Maybe he spotted a couple of holes in the defense, and he's not there. You're going to be missing it so much.
35 seconds left, and ENCE are starting to force their will and explode out onto the site. And explosives have been planted through the smoke. Spinks nullifies Lucan. D-Hat onto DGT, and the pieces of the puzzle are falling into place. Snappy puts it down to just rocks. 3 players to find and frag, and he will stumble, trip, and fall. One-man wrecking crew. He's trying to draw away rotations, but 9Z, to their credit, are not biting down on this. Spinks now going in for one. He's got his 30, but he will be shut down afterwards. And DGT and Max, last 2 players standing, have at least posted up one before DGT is wiped clean. Max has got 2 more players to find and frag, but I think he's going to get caught from the back, and there is Maden. 16-7 will be the win, and it was indeed easy for ENCE at the end.
It was very, very easy for ENCE, Vince. And yeah, like all the games we've had thus far, like you look at some of the matchups we had.